Good afternoon, everybody. Luis Morales here, health fitness specialist with Exos at Autodesk. It's noon on a Friday, which means it's time for Functional Fitness Friday and some guided breathing, ending our week on a nice, relaxing note. What we're going to be getting into today, guys, is a little bit of dumbbell work. So medium to light dumbbells here, nothing crazy. What we want to do, if you don't have some dumbbells, feel free to grab anything. Household items like laundry detergent, bags with some books in them for some pulling. What we're going to get into today, though, with these dumbbells, we're going to be doing 3 intervals, and they're going to be a minute long each. So we're going to have to, do some rest on our own throughout as we go. But our first movement with these dumbbells is going to be a split stance row. So we're not going to be standing all the way up straight. We're going to have one foot out in front. We'll hinge a little bit from the hip. That front knee is bent, back leg is straight. The upper torso is in line with that back leg. And from here, what we're going to do is row those dumbbells up, kind of nice 90 degrees. Here you can see in my elbows, some squeezing on my back muscles, and then we'll let them down. So because we're working one side at a time here with this leg stance, what we're going to do in this first minute interval, about halfway through, stand up with the dumbbells and switch sides. So I'll let you guys know when we're about 30 seconds or 32-ish seconds in, we can switch and then continue to pull with these dumbbells here. Nice straight line from my head all the way down to my heel. Next up, what we're gonna do is work a little bit of landing and jumping mechanics. So this is a really great movement to practice for both of these things, as well as kind of keep the heart rate up and keep us nice and active between dumbbell intervals. So with the feet about shoulder width apart, what we're going to do, arms way up in the air, we're going to be up on our tippy toes, and then we're going to recoil down real quick like we were coming down, if we were jumping off something that was a couple feet high and just really wanted to land nice and solid using those legs. We're then going to stand up, reset, swing those arms down violently, get into our nice landing position with the feet flat on the ground and the arches up. So we're going to continue to do that for the next minute interval. And then for our final minute interval, we're going to be doing some single leg overhead press stuff with the dumbbells here. And so what that's going to look like, essentially, we're going to have the dumbbells up around face level. As you can see, there's another 90-degree angle in my elbows. We're going to get onto one foot if we can, and just hang out here for about 30 seconds. Maybe that's 15. And we're going to switch over to the other side. So it's important here to have the core really tight, to be squeezing through the shoulders, squeezing those glutes super hard here, guys. We don't want to be leaning back too much, trying to use all those back muscles and compensate for us. So that's basically going to be our movements here today. With that being said, what we're going to be doing for the structure, 1 minute for each interval. So there's not going to be any planned rest. However, as we go through, there's going to be some time where we're going to switch and just take a few moments to take breaths throughout. So we're all responsible here. I trust you guys can choose when and where to get in a few breaths of rest throughout this workout. So since it's 3 minutes for one round, we're going to be doing about 5 rounds for about 15 minutes. We'll cool down. We'll get into our guided breathing. Great way to go into the weekend. All right, so now that we got the workout out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the warm-up itself. And so in order to warm up that kind of marching thing that we're going to be doing with the dumbbells overhead, what we want to do is start by doing just a nice kind of slow march where we can switch those legs. So here I'm planted on my right leg is straight, my right glute is really on, and then we can switch, bringing that left down. Left hand is up near the face, right knee is driven forward, the core is really tight. Let's switch again. We want to be able to march and then lock into that same position through the core, through the glutes, making sure this whole region from the rib cage all the way to the pelvis is really, really secure. Exhaling as we go. It's really important to lock in those glutes here, guys. This is where we're warming up here. Going to be using a lot of this through this marching motion as we go here today. Let's do one more each side. Also just improving our balance here, guys. All right. Give it a little shake. What we're gonna do now is find the bottom of our space. Start out with just a quick dynamic runner stretch. Let's push our hips back, try and touch the ground. Bend those knees to get the hands flat on the ground, then we can walk them out into a plank. From here, big lunge with that left. Left foot's gonna connect outside the left hand. We're gonna let that left hand leave the ground. Reach up towards the ceiling or sky. Take a breath in this position. Just take a quick second in this position. And let's return that left hand to the ground. Return that left foot back to meet the right. Same thing other side now. So big lunge with that right foot. We're gonna let that right hand leave the ground. Reach up for the ceiling or sky. Look past that thumb. Breathe. Nicely done. Let's return that right hand to the ground. We'll return the right foot back to meet the left. Push ourselves up into a brief downward dog. And then we can start to walk those hands back in towards the feet. Bend the knees if you have to. Get into a comfortable forward fold position. And then we can slowly roll ourselves up. Head, neck, shoulders, last thing to come up. All right, guys. Great work there. All we're really going to need is the dumbbells in the space here today. So I'm going to go ahead and get the timer set up, and then we can really get it going. All right, you guys, 15 minutes. Hopefully this goes by quick. Let's start with that split stance row. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are going. All right, guys, so make sure you, whatever foot we got in front, make sure that back one is also there for some support. We're just pulling in and then slowly letting those dumbbells down. Only trying to get in a few at a time here. It's not about getting in a ton of reps, more about the activation here today. All right, guys, let's switch up real quick. So stand all the way up, switch up your stance, take a moment to find that good balance, and we're rowing again. Good work, good work. Pulling, squeezing through those back muscles, trying to crack an egg in between those shoulder blades. Exhaling as we go. Almost done here, guys. A lot of weight in that front leg. Good work. All right, let's rest. We're about to transition into the loading progression now. All right, you guys, so make sure you guys got some room around you to swing those arms. We're gonna go up on the tippy toes and then get into that landing position like we just jumped off the bed of a truck. Take a moment in between reps. Just practicing our landing here. This also doubles really well for learning how to load up for a jump. So it's all about jumping and landing here today with this movement. Just trying to stay moving. Doesn't have to be as fast as we can. We got our single leg stuff coming up next with those dumbbells. We got about 10 more seconds. Big exhales here, guys. All right, let's grab those dumbbells. Let's get into it. So we want to start with them up around head level. We're going to plant on one leg and just hang out here. Don't let those elbows drift too far out to the side. Core is really tight. You got one knee driven forward. Right glute or whatever leg planted you have, that same side glute should be on. All right, guys, let's rest for a moment. Bring those dumbbells down nice and safe. Take a couple breaths here in between. I know that one's tough. We're about to get on that other leg now. Here we go. Let's get those dumbbells up first, and we can find that balance. Breathe as we go. Squeeze that glute super hard. I know it's burning. We're almost done. All right, you guys, let's rest. Bring those dumbbells down nice and safe. We're gonna hold on to them. We're back into our split stance row. Here we go. All right, we're pulling, nice squeeze, and then we're letting them down. Remember, not trying to get a ton of reps in here. More just about that activation. Can we hold the dumbbells in that pulled position? Should be feeling some muscles under the arms, in between the shoulder blades. Good work, you guys, good work. All right, halfway point, let's stand up for a moment, take a breath or two. We'll switch the stance up. Got to make sure that we address both sides here. We're back to rowing. And I got a few more in for that loading progression. Well done, you guys, well done, core tight. And let's relax. Stand it up all the way. Drop those dumbbells. Loading progression coming up next. All right, let's get into it. Let's throw those arms up. Tippy toes. Load up like you're just jumping off the bed of a truck. You're trying to land nice and safe. Use those legs to absorb the force in the ground. Don't go too low now. Not necessary to take those hips super low or deep into that squat. Think about halfway, or we're trying to create that nice 90-degree angle at the knee. Good work, everybody, good work. Got a few of these left. We're getting back into those shoulders. Big day for the shoulders and the back, as well as our brain, because we're working on that balance. All right, you guys, take a breath or two. We're gonna grab those dumbbells here in a sec. Get into that shoulder work. All right, here we go. So dumbbells go up first, lock it in with the shoulders, stand on one foot. We're just trying to balance here. Breathing, trying not to look at the clock. Don't let those elbows track too far away here, guys. Keep it nice and 90 degrees at those elbows. All right, you guys, let those dumbbells down nice and safe. We're hanging out here for a moment, catching our breath. We're about to plant on the other side. All right, let's bring those dumbbells up. Other knee comes up, lock in that opposite glute. We're just hanging out here. Good work, y'all, good work. We got 10 seconds, come on now. No, it's burning, I'm burning real good right now. All right, safely bring those dumbbells down. Put 2 feet on the ground. Good work, everybody, good work. We're jumping right into that split stance row here. Start of round 3. 1 foot in front, 1 out back. All that weight in the front, let's row. Good work, everybody, good work. Trying to feel the back of that shoulder. Trying to feel those lats under the arms. Trying to really strengthen those back muscles here today, guys. Those muscles do a lot more than we think. All right, let's switch up our stance here. Other foot in front, and we're back to rowing. Big rows here, you guys. We got a few left. Take little breaks if you need to. All right, let's put those dumbbells down. We will prepare for the loading progression coming up next. All right, guys, let's get into it. Arms are up, tippy toes. Coming down into that loaded landing position. Good job, you guys. Swing those arms pretty violently. Pretend like we're cross-country skiers, guys, really trying to dig into that snow, throwing down both poles at the same time. Be conscious of your breathing. Take a little break if you need to. This is that interval where we're trying to do some active recovery. Catch up a little bit. Muscles of the upper body aren't as taxed as they are in the other intervals. So feel free to stand there for a couple breaths, but then let's snap back into it. All right, guys, coming to the end of this interval, we got our overhead press with the dumbbells coming up next here. Let's grab onto those. Definitely a tough one today. My shoulders are burning with this. All right, dumbbells up first. Knee up second. Let's try and hang out for 15 or so here. Ooh, man, my shoulders are still burning. Do the best you can, guys. Try and string through or string together a few intervals of 5 to 10 seconds if it's really tough. We're just doing the best we can here within this minute. Free range within this minute. All right, if we haven't already switched, let's go ahead and do that. Lock in that glute, stay up nice and tall. Bring those dumbbells down safely. We're almost done with this minute. We're gonna go ahead and get right back into our rows. Round 4 coming up. All right, you guys, let's pick up those dumbbells once again. 1 foot in front, 1 foot out back to support. We're nice and straight, head to heel with that back leg, and then it's time to row. Holding that position for a couple seconds. Making sure those back muscles are nice and awake. Good job, everyone. Let's stand it up for a moment. Switch up the feet. Switch up your stance. We're back to rows. Trying to make some 90-degree angles in those elbows. We're almost done here. Almost time to put down those dumbbells. Here we go, you guys. Let's do one more big row. Nice work. All right, dumbbells are down. Let's take a breath or two. All right, plant those feet. We're up nice and tall. Loading progression here. Basically, our practice for landing and jumping mechanics. Good work, you guys, good work. Want to load up those legs with that arm swing. We're landing nice and even between those two legs. Make sure you're not favoring one side, that those knees are driving out and away from each other as we go. Good work, you guys. We're still breathing. We're doing okay. Coming up on the last round here after this next interval with the dumbbells. Gonna start to really burn here in this last one. See if we can stay with it. All right, guys, so we're into our second to last dumbbell interval here with the overhead press. So find a good spot on the floor, nice and flat. We'll get those dumbbells up first. Plant one leg, find the balance. Make sure that core is nice and tight. All right, let those dumbbells down slowly. We're right about the halfway point here. So you gotta plant that other leg. Let's get those dumbbells up. Find that balance. Good work, everybody, good work. Way to stabilize, squeeze that glute. Man, that burn is very serious today. Do the best you can. We're trying to string through, string together a few seconds at a time for those shoulders. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're on to our final round here, guys. Rowing with those dumbbells. We got 1 foot planted in front, other one out back. Last time we're doing this pull. I know we're burning. Lats by now are probably like, why so many rows? Just trying to get stronger here today, guys. Get a little bit better than we were yesterday and the day before that. All right, let's stand it up, halfway point. Plant the other foot in front. Make sure all that weight is in that front foot. Rowing for the last time here. 20 more seconds. Good work, everybody, good work. All right, guys, let's stand it up. Let's put those dumbbells down. Active rest session with the loading progression coming up next. Arms are up. Let's stretch out those lats, tippy toes. We're activating those lats on the way down through that arm swing. Try and throw those hands out behind you. Engage with those leg muscles. Stop yourself from coming down too hard. We're absorbing that force, bringing ourselves to a standstill, and then coming back up, resetting. Great work, everyone. Great work. Remember, active rest period here. Breathe as much as you can. Take little rests as much as you can. Just a couple breaths at a time. We're back into it. Swinging those arms like some professional skiers. All right, guys. Take a moment, take a breath. Coming up on the last dumbbell interval here. This is the last piece of hard work today. Let's grab those dumbbells. Find a solid spot on the floor. They're coming up shoulder level. We're driving that knee, locking it in. Good work, guys. Good work. Breathe through it. Breathe through it. I know it's tough. Man, that was 10 seconds for me. All right, you guys. Take some breath. Rest as needed. If you haven't already switched, let's switch over to the other side. Dumbbells back up. Opposite knee driven. Almost done here, you guys. Almost done. And let's bring those dumbbells down nice and safe. Reconnect 2 feet with the ground. Ended a couple seconds early. There's the timer. Good work, everybody. Good work. Whew, man, that one was tiring. Shoulders are for sure feeling it. Okay, a little bit short on time. What we're gonna do, get into our cool down, do some quick breathing. All right, guys. So with this cool down, we're gonna calm ourselves way down, stretch out these shoulders by getting down, hands and knees, and doing some child's pose. Take your time getting into this position. Might be helpful to walk it off or grab water, whatever you're feeling. But once we do get into this position, arms outstretched overhead, instead of having those palms down to the ground, let's turn our arms so our palms are now facing each other and the thumbs are up towards the ceiling. And then continue to breathe and slow down our breathing rates. I'm gonna do 2 more breaths here. Let's add in 1 more breath here, guys. Nicely done. We can pull those hands in, rise, put a little bit more weight into those hands. Great work, everybody. Great work. Okay, so Functional Fitness Friday is now done. We're going to get into our guided breathing practice, everybody. So take a moment, find your spot. You can lie on the ground, you can sit up. Bring yourself into a comfortable position, hopefully one where we can put a hand onto your stomach to kind of feel the levels of inhalation and exhalation as we go. And today what I'm going to introduce to you guys is something a little bit new, something a little bit different than what we've been doing in past classes, and this is referred to as the box breathing technique. Now, this designates the same time for an inhalation, a hold, an exhalation, and another hold before the next inhale. So you look at it, it's pretty much a box with numbers at the corners. And what I want us to start with today is 3. So 3 is going to be our number to inhale. We're going to hold for a count of 3, exhale for 3, and hold for a count of 3 before our next inhale. And then hopefully we'll progress to 4. So let's still keep it the same with our diaphragmatic breathing, letting the stomach rise during the inhale. Just doing the best you can to get to 3 on the inhale, 3 on the hold, 3 on the exhale, and then 3 on the hold again. Good work, everybody. Good work. If your heart rate is still elevated, that's okay. So is mine. If this breathing technique, as far as the intervals go, if 3 is feeling a little too short, go ahead and customize it a little bit. Make it 4, make it 5, whatever you can manage here in this moment is what we're going to default to. I'm going to go ahead and start shooting for 4 as the breathing is really starting to calm down. Good work, everybody. For today's visualization, visualize a beating heart that's moving a little bit slower than usual. Each section, 4 sections, filling up with blood as we breathe. Our counts of 3 and 4. Keeping it nice and even. Count of 3, count of 4 for every inhale, exhale, and hold. Notice how that stomach blows up as we inhale. It freezes as we hold, deflates as we exhale, and freezes in that deflated position before we fill it back up with air again. Good work so far, everyone. Let's continue to breathe in this box technique, matching our inhales and exhales with holds in between. Learning that we can truly control the breath while still being calm and not feeling like we're struggling for air or that we're depriving ourselves from adequate breath. This technique in particular is a favorite of mine for stress relief or stress mitigation. Taking a moment to sit, close your eyes, and breathe into this box, even if it's just for a minute, can be really, really effective. All right, everybody, slowly bring your attention back to your surroundings. You can continue to be in this position and breathe in this way if you'd like. However, that is all the time I have left for this class here today. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me, working through that tough workout earlier, and then working through this novel breathing technique with me. Always fun to try something new. I hope we're feeling like we got a little bit better today than how we were yesterday and the day before. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will catch you guys next week sometime. Thanks for coming. Take care, you guys.
Thanks, Luis. How heavy were your weights?
I'm using 15s.
Oh, I was using 5 and didn't feel it at all. So I've got to get heavier weights.
Yeah, that can be something. We can also work on that for you to, what is something around the house that is, of medium weight that you can pull and push on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week for sure. Yeah, the 5s for you, that's not heavy enough. You're a strong dude. So
yeah,
we'll figure that out.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, my friend. Have a good weekend.
Yeah. You too.